So you have a lot of people amongst extreme environmentalists who despise humanity because they have an image of what the world should be like, of what humans should behave like. You know, living in small villages, toiling their own fields, definitely not participating in industrial revolution and flying on holidays to Hawaii. Um, and when you are this disgusted with your fellow human beings, then it is not difficult to imagine that people like that, with that kind of attitude, are prone to uh, apocalyptic visions of the future, and not just observing those apocalyptic predictions, but also wishing for them. There's a paper in the book that we talk about which finds that apocalyptic ideas are popular not just among religious, or apocalyptic predictions are not just popular amongst the religious, but also non-religious. Amongst the religious, apocalyptic predictions and signs of an apocalypse, let's say the outbreak of the COVID pandemic, could could reinforce their previously held religious beliefs, which is to say that everything is going to end.
Sure.
And that sort of reinforces this vision of the world that I have acquired through religious texts, which says that apocalypse is coming. So in a sense, I am correct. But this is
So,
not just the religious people. The secular people are also prone toward believing in the apocalypse because extreme environmentalism has replaced traditional religion in their minds. It is a different type of religion, but it is still a religion. It is an all-encompassing view of the world where the God is replaced by Gaia, where the devil is replaced by the fossil fuel company, where the saint is replaced by Greta Thunberg, where paying the church to forgive your sins is replaced by green offsets, where every
right.
time that Leo DiCaprio flies across the ocean, he gives few thousand dollars to a green NGO, and therefore his great sin against the environmental religion is forgiven. So apocalypse can also be very soothing to secularists, because it also reaffirms their their vision of the world, their value system.
It does feel like this is a theme that is a big part of a lot of the movements that are happening now in American society, and maybe I don't want to say all of the first world, but certainly in like the Anglosphere, like the English, like here in the UK, it mirrors this like identity politics religion. John McWhorter talks about like wokeism as a kind of religion where you have the kind of fall from grace and original sin, and you have penance and all these different sort of rituals that get reinforced. I mean, it's become, I think, more understood that recycling mostly is nonsense, and it doesn't even go into processing. But today, it literally goes into the same trash as the trash bin. But we still have this like it's like a practice. Rolling it down. Oh, okay, here's a plastic. I'm going to throw this in this separate trash can that'll end up being put in the same
I
trash.
feel better. Yeah.
But now I feel better. I've sort of uh you know these payments, these sort of indulgences. They have a kind of like medieval Catholic Church kind of quality to them. Like, oh well, I'm a terrible person, but I can pay a couple indulgences, and now I'm great.
Yeah.
It's not a charitable way to describe this belief, though. And one of the things I think is really important now more than ever is being charitable to people with whom you disagree, because it's like that is just a lost thing in our civil discourse. So what's the most charitable way we can understand somebody who looks at this conversation, looks at our general optimism, and says, "You guys are deluded. The world is in much worse shape than you're claiming it is." What's the most charitable read you have to offer for that perspective?
Well, I would say that the people who rejoice in the apocalypse, or the extreme environmentalists who drive our children to eco-anxiety and so forth, they are exhibiting a very human feature, which is the need for religion, the need for transcendence. Let me explain what I mean. Human beings are the only animal on Earth capable of envisaging its own demise. We are the only animal capable of understanding that one day we are going to die. No other animal can do that. And this is scary. It's weird. Other animals don't have to worry about these things. And
they're obviously afraid of death, and at a base level, you know.
And in the moment when they are threatened, they're going to run away. But
they're not thinking about the afterlife.
They don't think about it throughout the entire conscious lives. That at some point there is going to be an end. Now, so we have to cope with that end and being aware of that end in some ways. And the way that human beings have dealt with it in the ages past was by developing religion, some sort of a belief or where you are going after death. Be it the Elysian fields for the Greeks, heaven for the Christians, and so forth. And even if a religion didn't have a specific afterlife to go to, it still provided a structure for a daily life and communal living. With the decline of traditional religion, the religious impulse is not going anywhere. I'm an atheist, so I can talk about it in a completely sort of unemotional way. The religious impulse doesn't go anywhere. It just has to be channeled in different ways. J.K. Chesterton famously says that when people start believing in God, they don't believe in nothing, they believe in anything. And so you've got these new religions which are springing up, quasi-religions. The structure of the extreme environmentalist movement, to compare it to Christianity is very easy, as I said, with its devils and its saints and so forth. But people can channel that need for transcendence in different ways. Some people can have children and then see their immortality through them. Other people can seek transcendence through their work, writing books, for example.
Sure.
Other people will do it by developing and embracing new types of religion, which will enable them to cope with the struggles of daily life, developing ways of coping, developing ways of structuring your day. This morning I have to make myself a kale smoothie. Then I have to separate my trash. Then I have to do a yoga and things like that. This is whether these people have a belief in some sort of a supernatural Mother Gaia or not. It's still a quasi-religious way of organizing your daily life, which is very comforting to people to have a routine. People don't like chaos.
If you like this clip, we've got more where that came from. Be sure to watch the full video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our new videos as they come out each week.